Why did George Shultz put human rights first?
He probably realized that ultimately that was what it was all about, that was the most basic value of all the values.
He kind of set a standard, by the way, for other secretaries of state that, as Natan said, you know every name when you go to talk about a human rights case. So when I would go to China, I would carry a list. And I always found, and I'm sure George found the same so they were a little surprised that the American Secretary of State was somehow concerned about this person because we value human life. And it was a way of saying to the Soviet Union, we value every single human being. We value every single Jew that you are preventing from leaving the country. And Ronald Reagan understood that the Soviet Union was something of a paper tiger. I think that was the concept of the ash heap of history. But he also understood that nobody had pushed it. And probably one of the things that was most misunderstood about that period, the Strategic Defense Initiative, SDI. SDI, where everybody kind of laughed and said, well, you'll never be able to shoot down Soviet missiles. But Gorbachev would understand that they could no longer win the military competition. And a lot of his desire to change the terms of Soviet foreign policy and ultimately to change the terms of Soviet domestic policy came from a recognition that they were not going to win. You have to chalk that up to Ronald Reagan and the defense buildup that changed the terms of the debate about what the Soviet Union was capable of doing.
What is Star Wars? And they don't really know whether Americans believed in this crazy idea. But it was clear that Soviets are scared to death. And they wanted very much to negotiate that it will not start even defense in space. And the Americans are explaining, why are you concerned? It's only defense. It's clear. We need Star Wars because we don't trust you. If you will release Sakharov, if you will release Sharansky, if you will increase the level of immigration to 1,000, not 100, we don't promise you, but it will improve the trust. It was so clear, the linkage is so clear, and it worked.